Hey guys, just really quick caveat here from the Libertarian Investor. I've gotten a lot of questions, both in private and on the channel, about what are we to make of this crash in metals, in Bitcoin. For each of them, guys, precious metals, silver and gold, where we're sitting, have lost about a third of their value, and Bitcoin has lost about that much. It went from a high of 100,000 a few months ago to now approaching $75,000 per Bitcoin. And we see silver also down from almost 120 to $85 an ounce. And we see gold back down in the 4,000s, which is still more than it was a few months ago. And remember, I'm just a random guy on the internet. I am not an investment advisor. I'm just someone that doesn't invest and wants to share his journey with you and just sharing my opinions, guys. That's all it is because, again, I'm not certified. I'm not an advisor. I do have knowledge of Austrian economics and I do have knowledge of basic investing. So you can take that as you will. And also, I'd ask, join the conversation in the comments, guys. I enjoy having these comments, and I had some comments on my silver video where we called a top to silver, a local top, and we said that perhaps there would be a crash. And a lot of people said, well, that's not a crash. Whatever you want to call it, guys. I'm not using technical terms here, but it was a flash crash the other day when silver lost about $30 of value in a single day. And guys, I think that anyone who says that they know the mechanics of these markets and they know the exact phenomena that are going on are fooling themselves. They're fooling you no matter whether they call themselves experts or not. No one's an expert in the market because, again, if you were an expert and you knew the future, first of all, action wouldn't be possible because any action to exchange one set of circumstances for another assumes that you don't know the future, that the future is uncertain, and you're calculating among probabilities. No matter how much education or wealth we have, we're all just calculating probabilities here. And that's why I lead to my first point of this. We don't need to look at the price and what's going on with the price of a commodity or a stock or any item of value, any object of value, any asset, rather. We need to look at what is the goal, first of all. And I talked about this in my last video about research in investing and my last few videos about buckets. I have several buckets of what I'm trying to do. One of them is the fiat currency safety bucket or the fiat currency alternative bucket. We know that fiat currencies eventually are going to zero. We do not know when. And the when is very important in investing, by the way, and in trading. We don't know when, but we know they're eventually going to collapse. It's economic law because they're based on nothing. So the first question you want to ask if you're invested in Bitcoin, if you're invested in gold and silver, is what bucket is that in, guys? Is this a long-term investment or a short-term investment? My Bitcoin is basically a super long-term hedge betting that sooner than later, fiat currency is going to lose value, and it has lost value over time. And again, I'm not a fanatic in Bitcoin. In fact, I flip-flop positions every few months because my knowledge of Austrian economics teaches me that currencies start naturally. They arise naturally on a free market. And they start with valued commodities that are valued qua commodities. For example, gold is valued as a commodity before it becomes a currency. It's usually valued for its beauty. It also has some uses in electronics, as does silver. But first, they have to be valued as commodities. They're traded on the market. Bitcoin was never a commodity. It's lines of code, it's blockchain, but it does have features. And that feature or system of the blockchain algorithm, so to speak, or the lack of trust in any one member of the nodes, the system of nodes that make up Bitcoin, and we can talk about that more in another video, but the system itself may be classified as a commodity. I don't trust Bitcoin. I believe that the true currencies, natural currencies, are going to be gold and silver, but I do believe that Bitcoin will have a role simply in its system of blockchain, and in the fact that it still provides anonymity and it provides an alternative to fiat currencies. So it's because I don't trust fiat currency that I put a little bit of my wealth into Bitcoin, and only Bitcoin, guys. And I think that Bitcoin trumps all of the other cryptocurrencies, if nothing else, simply because it has the strongest system and because of its brand and name recognition. It'll always trump. Maybe Ether, which is a whole other computer system, may come in as a close second, but no other cryptocurrency is going to be able to have the resources, the blockchain, or the brand of Bitcoin. So that's why I invest in Bitcoin. And I would say, as an investor, a long-term investor in Bitcoin, I still agree with Michael Saylor when he says buying Bitcoin today is like buying a piece of New York real estate. I hope it goes back down to $10,000, because I will at that point utilize every resource available to me to buy as many Bitcoins as I can. I wish I'd done that in the beginning. I did not have the conviction or the research about Bitcoin in the beginning to do that. Some may say I didn't have the intelligence to do that. Well, this time, guys, if it goes down to 10,000, I will be mortgaging resources to put into Bitcoin. Perhaps I'm exaggerating there, but I will make every effort that I can to go into Bitcoin. I do believe that dollar cost averaging is a good strategy. And again, do not follow anything I'm saying. I'm not an advisor. It's just saying what I'm doing, what I think. Now, if you're trading these, and I'll go into silver here in a sec as well. If you're trading these, whether it be gold, silver, and Bitcoin, I'd probably sell now. I'd sell most of it. I'd probably sell 2/3 of my holdings of gold, 2/3 of my holdings of silver, because I think they may be going back down, guys. And you have to do that according to a chart, because unfortunately, when you're trading commodities like gold and silver, Warren Buffett was correct when he said that investing in gold is not like investing in a company. You don't give dividends. You don't have a way to analyze or study the company. You're basically investing in another commodity asset. So if you're trading that, guys, you need to be looking at the chart. You need to be, again, buying it when it's in a stabilization phase, and you need to be selling it when it goes straight up. You need to be buying more of it when it goes down and when it goes back into a stabilization phase. But in my case, I'm not selling that, guys. I'm not buying gold and silver, and I'm not selling gold and silver, because again, my silver is a very long-term hold. It's basically a hedge against fiat currency. Now, a little bit as to why everything's gone down, guys, in the fiat currency hedge aspect, which is Bitcoin, gold, and silver. They've all gone way down. I think that owes a lot to the fact that Trump just appointed or announced that he's going to appoint Mr. Warsh as the new Fed chairman. And again, while Jerome Powell is not perfect, he has been more conservative than most. He has been for doing a little bit to stem inflation and keeping interest rates a little bit high. They're not near high enough, but Mr. Powell is a little bit independent. And Warsh, it looks like, and again, we could be wrong, but it looks like from everything I've researched, that he's just going to be a total tool of the administration. And this is going to be the end of Fed independence. And while the Fed is not good, it's sort of like Churchill and democracy, when Churchill said, well, democracy's not good, but there's nothing better. Unfortunately, right now, an independent Fed is not good, but there's nothing better. We're going to be just going into free money and free money printing, unfortunately, which is modern monetary theory. Basically, it looks like the Trump administration will now adopt what Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez has accepted as modern monetary theory, where basically the Treasury will be directing to print as much money as possible to keep asset prices up, to keep stock prices up. Ironically, this is the best case for gold, silver, and Bitcoin in the long term. So what am I doing? And again, this is not advice, but what am I doing in the long term? I'm not touching my Bitcoin. In fact, I'm buying more Bitcoin. The lower it goes, but be buying more of that. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging. Not buying any more silver, not buying gold. I'm going to see where that stabilizes. But right now, it's just a case of let's watch and see. And that's what I'm doing, guys. Watch and see. Again, if you are committed to a knowledge of the fundamentals of economics and you know the fundamentals of economics, we don't care where the price is, guys, because we know eventually, we know fiat currencies are going to zero. All we need to do is have a little hedge in that, and we can make some money in the process. So I think Bitcoin will reverse again, and we'll go to $100,000 again. Now, when it gets to 100,000, will I liquidate a lot of my position this time? Yes, because of market memory. Might go down again after that, and I might want to take my profits off the table. I'm not going to sell at a loss, and again, I'm going to buy more the more it goes down. That's my strategy for now. If you have any opinions about it, if you have any advice about it, please do comment. Please do like the videos, share the videos, and if you like my channel, do subscribe to The Libertarian Investor. Until very soon, guys, this is Javier with The Libertarian Investor, bidding you a wonderful weekend.